What's going on, guys? This is Vince with vshred.com, and today I'm going to be showing you guys 3 exercises to build your quads. Alright, so when it comes to working the quads, you first got to understand the muscles that you're trying to work. That way you can work them all evenly. And it's called the quads because there's 4 muscles that make it up. You have your vastus medialis, which is the inner quad muscle. Some people call this the teardrop when you build it up nicely and get nice and lean. You have your vastus lateralis, which is the outer quad muscle, which is what really give it your quads the wide look. You have your vastus intermedius, which is actually a muscle that's not shown. It runs higher and underneath the 4th quad muscle, which is the rectus femoris. The rectus femoris, it's the 4th quad muscle that is going to be on the outside and in the middle. So you have to typically get really lean to see the rectus femoris at all. And the main difference between all these muscles, there is no main difference between the medialis, lateralis, and intermedius, because those are all what you call monoarticulate muscles. They only cross one joint. Whereas the rectus femoris, it's the largest of the quad muscles. It is a polyarticulate muscle. It attaches to the front of the pelvis, and then it runs over the knee joint as well. So it's 2 different joints that it crosses over. So when you're trying to hit all 4 of your quad muscles, you can't do an exercise as simple as a leg extension, because with a leg extension, you're not working your rectus femoris. So what I want to show you guys are 3 exercises that are going to work all 4 areas of your muscles, because unless you are getting your knee coming up, you're not going in the exercise, so it's going to be going down and pressing up. You're not going to work all 4 muscles. You're going to be leaving the one out. And if you do an exercise like a leg extension, those are really bad on your knee, because your legs were made to work as a machine basically. And if you're not getting any kind of hamstring activation at the same time as quads, then you're going to end up putting a lot of load of stress on the front of your knee, which can end up in getting some issues with your patella or just issues with your knees in general. So the first exercise that I'm going to talk about, guys, is a reverse lunge. What you're going to do, you can do this with a regular bar, you can do this with a dumbbell. What you're going to be doing is, instead of just going down like a squat and squatting down, instead what you're going to do is actually lunge backwards. So we all know what front lunges are. It's when you step forward and lunge down. So what I want you to think about is, instead of stepping forward, you're still going to be doing the same kind of lunging motion, but instead of stepping forward and focusing on the front leg when you step forward, you're going to be keeping it as if you're only keeping your focus on that front leg. When you actually step back, you actually don't even want to think about putting this, like, you don't really want to put that much emphasis on that back leg until it's down, until your knees are bent more. So what you want to focus on is almost like you're doing a one-legged squat. So you want to step back, and then from here you're going to be squatting down. So there's not much going on with my back leg, and then you want to go about an inch off the ground with your back knee and squat back up. And you really want to focus on keeping a lot of weight on your toes. What I like to think about is as if there is like a coin under the middle of my foot, and I'm really trying to push my big toe into the ground. So you're going to keep your big toe in the ground, step back, squat down, and squat back up, really trying to put a bunch of emphasis on that front leg. You should almost be able to do this exercise one-legged, as if you weren't going to use that back leg at all. But then when you get back to the bottom part of the exercise, that's when you got to put a little weight on that foot for stabilization. Step back up. Other foot, same thing. Step back, squat. Start squatting before you put your foot on the ground. Squat back up, squeeze through your quad. Step back, start before you put the foot down. Squat down, oops. Press back up, squeeze through your quad. So that's going to be the first exercise. So the second exercise is going to be on a leg press. Typically everybody knows what a leg press is, but what's going to isolate your quads as much as possible with this movement is going to be going from a regular stance, which is going to be about shoulder width apart with your feet slightly pointed outwards. All you're going to do is bring them in closer. You're still going to have a slight outward turn with your toes, That's just better for your knees and for your hips in general. But you're gonna bring them in closer, and then what this is gonna do from here, and then the other thing is you wanna do the same thing like I just mentioned. You wanna imagine as if there's a coin or something under the middle of your foot, so it's creating an arch, and then you really wanna focus on driving the weight through your big toe and your heels at the exact same time. So your 2 points of pressure are gonna be right here and right here. And that is going to help you target your quads as much as possible. So you're gonna bring this weight down, really try to put all your emphasis on the top of your leg, and then you're gonna press up, really pressing through your toes and squeezing out at the top. And so this is going to target your quads. And then it's the same way if you were trying to hit hamstrings or glutes or anything, you would just go out wider, and this would target more so the back of your legs and the insides of your legs. So this is gonna hit the tops, hit your quads. This is gonna hit the backs of your legs. So that's the second exercise. Okay, the third exercise, and this is actually like my favorite quad exercise because I always have had trouble with targeting my vastus medialis, or my vastus lateralis, sorry. It's the outer portion of your quad muscle. I've been able to grow my inner quad muscle, the medialis, the teardrop really well, but the lateralis, the one that makes them look really wide and gets you that quad hangover, I've never been able to grow it. And this is an exercise that does that really well as working all three of the other muscle groups. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab some dumbbells, and then you're gonna get something that you're gonna put your back foot on. So it's gonna be a split squat. And you're gonna get something about a foot or so off of the ground, depending on how tall you are. You don't want it that high off the ground. You just want it high enough so where you can put emphasis on your quad muscle when you squat down. So you're gonna have this out like that. And then from here, what you're gonna do is, so a lot of times people get into a split squat position and they just go like this. Well, this is what you don't want to do, because this is just going to end up hitting random parts of your muscle. What you want to do is really try to focus on hitting that outer part. So what I'm going to be working here is my back legs muscle. It's going to be the outer quad muscle on this leg. So what I'm going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stand up straight. I'm going to get my shoulders directly above my waist. I'm gonna get my chest pushing out, and then from here what I'm gonna do is really focus on keeping my shoulders directly above my waist and dropping back on my back leg. Getting a nice stretch, not going down too far, and pressing right back up and then getting right back into it. Right here is going to smash your vastus lateralis, that outside leg muscle, while hitting all three other quad muscles. And then also don't forget to go both sides of that so that you're hitting all parts of your quad and both sides equally, so make sure you're counting your reps as well. But try these three exercises out the next time that you're going to hit legs. If you're trying to grow your quads, try some reverse lunges, try some close stance leg press, and try some elevated, back foot elevated split squat lunge, some kind with barbell or dumbbell, whatever that may be, is going to smash your quads better than you probably felt in a long time, if not ever. So try these out, let me know how you like them. And if you want 3 more tips, I have a free fitness quiz where it asks you a couple questions about your body type so that I can figure out what kind of dieting you need to be doing, what kind of training you need to be doing, the right kind of cardio for your body. And then at the end of it, it spits out this video where I give you 3 tips for whatever your goals are. And then if you want to continue on with a program after that, it recommends which program is best for you. You can get to it by clicking the link in the description right below this video. Other than that, if you like this video, if you learned anything, make sure you're clicking that thumbs up for me so that I know to keep making videos like this. If you have any video recommendations for me, if you have any questions about this video, then leave them in the comment section below. Just don't fight or troll. And then other than that, make sure you're clicking the subscribe button down there so that you're not missing any of the videos that I make in the future. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next one.